Hey, this is tricky because when we get questions like this, most of the time, we often get deep into the oppression we face, the discrimination, having to work twice as hard to be recognized in professional spaces, and all of that. But I've been trying to redefine the question to encompass trans joy as well. Hi, my name is Oshiri Olayinka. My pronouns are they, he. I'm an agender lesbian from Lagos, Nigeria. I am an activist, a writer, a product designer. I do everything to be to be fair. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Libatu, commonly known as Liber. My pronouns are she, they, and I am an artist, student architect, and full-time hot girl. Yay!
My name is Precious Gift Egbonloa. My pronouns are she, they. I'm a beauty and a creative makeup artist.
My name is Aralua Oluwadamilare. I'm an entrepreneur, a musician, and also a stylist. So, I'm 25 years. My pronouns are she, are. To me, acceptance means freedom. Um, I guess once you accept in place or from your family or anyone, you're free to do what you want to do and be free to talk and just be free.
Acceptance. Acceptance is acceptance is um having being who you are, accepting what people see you as. You know,
Acceptance, I would say, is understanding the kind of person that I am, understanding who I am, and accepting me fully. I don't want to use the word accepting, but understanding who I am and accepting me fully and expressing myself the way I want to.
So, I would say acceptance to me means getting to live as myself without judgment and the expectation of conformity.
Acceptance for me, for myself, is just like knowing who I am and embracing it. Yeah. I don't really need it. Yeah, thank you.
my name is Nei Ojelade. I'm a, I'm a human rights activist, and my pronouns are he, him, they, them. To me, acceptance is a life that is free from transphobic attack. Since I was outed, I I have faced a lot. I think it was as if it's the outing that brought out the transphobic attack in Nigeria to me. I've had so many attacks, so many attacks in Nigeria, so many I can't even mention them. So, some have been stabbed because I'm a trans person, because I'm a trans person that lives in Nigeria. I've lost jobs because I'm a trans person that live in Nigeria. And I was going on the road and I was attacked by area boys and they they were like, you be boy, you be girl, which one you be, this and that. And they're trying to rough handle me. Then I punched one of them. Then the next person stabbed me.
So 3 months into my transition, my queer mom and I, Aduni Tiwatope, went to get something at ShopRite Sangotedo. So I'm a makeup artist. I create content for Instagram, for TikTok. And that day I did a recreation of one of the makeup artists I follow, one of the creators I follow on Instagram. I took the makeup. It was late at night. I took the makeup, not thinking it was going to attract anything. I didn't think it was going to result in the both of us being thrown out of the mall. So when we got to the entrance of the mall, they asked us to wait and turn back because I would scare the people in the mall. It was funny to me because I grew up with creations worse than that, like more gothic than that. And I get adjust the stairs, but I don't get to be thrown out or anything. So while we're trying to like, tell them that, she's an artist and this, there was a car that passed. And then two of the security men crossed over from the other side and told the ones trying to tell us to go out that, these two people are men. And I was so shocked to my bones. I'm like, oh, How? So they said there was a soldier man in the car that sped, and the man said, "The both of us are males." It was really shocking. From that point, I was really scared. My abs fell, like literally fell. I was like, "Oh, okay," because I've heard of stories about transphobia and how what happens to other girls. I'm like, I'm not about to experience this right now. So I was trying to tell my mom, let's go," but she didn't want to go. So that experience was very horrible. That was one of out of these many experiences I've had on transphobia against me. So that experience was terrible. I mean, at that point, I just wanted to live there. I just wanted to get home because that's my safe space. I wanted to get home to my father and just like see what happens. So when I got home, I actually didn't cry because I thought I was going to cry. I just got home and started laughing. Like I was just a laughing mess. It was later I began to think about it and I was like, I could have been harmed. I could have been beaten. I could have been lynched. I could have been burned, or even worse, I could have been killed.
In April, I went for Gratitude, a women's only event, and then after almost being killed, no, okay, killed is a strong word, yeah, but after being harassed, like publicly, like with other women, like at the venue of the space, like I went home and I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning to like being a trending Twitter topic, where they were dissecting my gender, my body, where I ought to be, where I should not be, where I can go, where I cannot go, um, how I should dress, how I should present. And it was really uh, like it was really a lot and it was really intense because like it's one thing for you to like know that okay like you're living in a reality that's like a lot of people push down on, but it's like another thing for you to wake up and be like food for people to pick apart on the internet every day. And that happened for a while. That was like, yeah, it was pretty intense.
Trans experience in Nigeria. Well, I really don't want to go deep into it, but growing up having pedophiles on both sides of your family and not being safe is something that is not something to take home about. And the way people outside there see you as someone that, because of the way you dress and the way you act, being a woman as they see you, and you acting like a man as a trans man in Nigeria has never been rosy because they always have something to say, something to do, or what they have to do about it.
I'm a trans woman and I've experienced a different attack and violence from people. The last one was I was set up by a guy. Actually, we both stopped on a dating app. He was bored and bored, just for us to like just talk. So getting to his place, we were like, oh, we actually we were talking that day. We were talking, but he wants more. So I had to let him know I'm trans. I was like, oh, what does trans means? And I told him it's about gender and identity. Or like, okay. So from there, this guy asked for more. I was trying to do it. Okay. And I told him, if at all he wants anything else, you have to use condom. So him getting condom, it stood up from where we are. For him to get condom, not turn back. From there, the violence started to meet the court and all. Yes. So I just feel like they don't understand, and most of them understand. Some of them understand. They're just doing. They're just doing what they want to do, or trying to bully you because they know you don't have voice. Because once you have your voice, you can talk for yourself. I guess it kills everything.
I have been in cases where I was in the hospital, I was terribly sick, and most of what the doctors are doing were staring at me rather than attending to the issue I came with. There have also been issues of working in professional spaces, and the first thing they do is not access your experience or your qualification, but dismiss you on the spot based on the fact that you do not fit into the gender box that they expect you to fit into. So yeah, it's terrible and just It's crazy. But we navigate it.
Because of how I navigate and the spaces I go to, I'm not very privy to transphobia in my daily life. Right. I do not have to face transphobia if I'm not like in a like unless somewhere I don't want to be. Somewhere I don't want to be is like a market or like school sometimes. And like hospitals. Oh god, I hate going to hospitals. But like generally I do not go to spaces where I cannot be like opening myself, and every time I have to, there's always transphobia of some sort. It's always like the usual, like oh slurs. Okay, there's slurs. There's like people like whispering, mumbling. Like you hear someone say like, "Oh, this one is like that one," like, and then you hear them like, "Oh, I'll hit this one." Like I'm like,
When people hear of trans people, the next thing they think about is Bobrisky. I had an incident at the market when I went to make my hair. I was trying to get my rings, and the lady there was shouting Bobrisky, Bobrisky. So it was very funny to me. She was shouting Bobrisky, Bobrisky, and in return, I was like, O'Shea Bades. When people hear of transgender women, the first thing they think of is, oh, Bobrisky, that man really do like woman, and he's very crazy. Like, it is very crazy because the representation, and I think part of the problem is the misrepresentation Bobrisky has put out so far. So when people hear of trans women, they just think, oh, Bobrisky, a cross dresser. They don't think of, oh, trans women are women. They just think, oh, Bobrisky, James Brown.
Misconception that they have about people like myself, about me, is the fact that I'm a woman and tends to act like a man. And the way I dress, the way I act or react towards things. And most people tend not to like it. Some people feel bad, some people feel irritated, and all of that.
For the most part, the misconceptions about trans people, I would say, is mostly the fact that they think we are trying to influence other people when in the actual sense, we are just trying to be accepted for who we are. So they say we are trying to impose gender ideals on young minds, trying to force people to accept the freak in us. Meanwhile, all we are just trying to do is to be allowed to live as ourselves. I don't want you to accept me, really. I don't want you to embrace me or whatever. I just want to live without judgment. I want to live without you imposing your biases on me. I want to get into spaces that are meant for me without having to deal with your own biases.
well, I think one very big one that I feel like I've made peace with is that there's a common um there's a common there's a commonly built misunderstanding of the protection of gendered spaces, right? And it's so ridiculous because a lot of the people who try to have the conversations around the protection of these gendered spaces do not care about the people in the gendered spaces. So I don't know. And there's a lot of, oh, you want to take what we have. I feel like there's a lot of Western, yeah, if that's the right word. There's a lot of like Western importation of what the problems with trans individuals are supposed to be in Nigeria that do not fit into the context of what Nigeria is. For example, I remember someone, when they were doing a thing online, said, oh, these ones are going to take my spot. What spot? Like, nobody wants to take your spot, babe. Your country does not put money into your spot. Nobody really, yeah. So it's stuff like that. There's no like, it's not contextual. Like they don't work with the framework of, oh, this is what is happening in the country we're in. They just like throw things at the head from popular transphobes.
Like I said before, I started transitioning June 2023, and it has been a roller coaster. It has not been easy. Actually, I knew it was not going to be easy. Who was I kidding? But then it was not, I didn't think it was going to be as horrible as all of the things that I have seen and I have had to experience. We've had to move to 4 different houses, and then it's even more than 4 because sometimes the landlords, they return our money because they find out that, oh, my grandfather is this this is what he does. He has a queer organization. So like, oh, our fair gay, we don't want this, we don't want that. We had an issue the last house we were. To the point that they told us that they had video evidences of myself and my mom being trans, and they were going to charge us to courts because they asked us to leave and we wanted our money back. And they said they're not going to give us the money. Instead, they would charge us to courts that transgender. Now, being a trans woman in Nigeria is not it. I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry. So the first time we moved, one of my sisters had an incident. She got really badly beaten, and because of that, they didn't even consider the fact that. So that happened, and I'm so sorry. I've had a lot of good times. I've met a lot of people that I didn't think I would ever meet if I had stayed in my box because it took a lot. And one person I'm really grateful for is my best friend. I'll say it every time and anywhere, everywhere. My best friend helped me discover myself. And after that, I've just been focused on the joyful part because it has been really, really amazing. I'm grateful to everyone, like my loved ones, my father, my mother, Aduni, and Karen. I should be on the streets right now. I'm not an abomination because people have told me that, like, I've, last 2 months was my 1 year anniversary, and in just 1 year, people have told me a lot of things. I've heard so many. I've seen so many things. But the best part about being a trans woman is the fact that you are very authentic and these people see it. And that's what scares people. When they come to tell you, they tell you, how dare you live your life? How are you able to live your life? Most of these people are in the closet. Most of them want to be free and live their life. Well, I mean, I'm just really thankful for the people that I have around me because it has been a really crazy journey. And because of them, it has been bearable. It has been really bearable.
I was outed in December 2020. Yeah, that was when my mom outed me. She outed me to uh elder sister and elder sister's children. Then they escalated it to my dad, which led to my dad sending me away from the house. So I was sent away from the house and disowned. I was living in the shop I rented at Yanokwaja, because then I was into barbing. I was barbing, so I was sleeping in the shop. Then later on, early in the morning, I'll go to my friend's house. That my friend that lived at Ikwaja. Then I'll go and have my bath, change my clothes, then go back to the shop. Then I think in 2021, my one of my friend introduced me to a safe house on the island. So I moved to the safe house then.
I started transitioning when I was in my third year of uni, which was yes, third. I started transitioning was my third year of uni, which technically started 2 years ago. But like I transitioned I started transitioning then, but then there's this thing like you intern when you're your third year, and when I started interning, I was working from home, and so like I really like never had to go to school for anything, and so like I started living in like my bubble of like, whoa, life is great, life is wonderful. And then I had to start my final year last year, and I gave me reality check. Cause like I remember like I was going to school and I was like no this morning like I remember like I was like, oh yeah, first day of school I'm going to school, whatever. Okay, that was not first day of school, it was first day I was in school. But like I remember I was going and I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I was in a cab and then so the gates, yeah, the gate security of school were arguing. They're like, that's a woman. No, that's a and so like I was like, I don't know it was me that they were talking about. So me, I was even trying to like what's going on? They're like, oops, it's me. And so like I feel like that jarred me a lot. So it was like, oh wait, like yeah, I'm still in this country. And so like they had that argument for so long for nothing. And I was just stuck there because there was no cabs. And so I was waiting and like they had the argument and like it just made me feel really jarred. And like I remember I went for my first class and then the lecturer comes and is like, oh, you when did you become Mary? I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. And then so I yeah, that like hit me a lot. So I had to start thinking of ways I could navigate like going to school without calling too much attention to myself. Because like calling too much attention to myself like is like a risk of safety.
There are some that they are not. They didn't. They call it pass in our way. They said pass. Once if you don't pass, you can't go out freely as a trans person. So to be passed here, you have to be on estrogen, which is HRT for we trans women. So I guess with that, if you have been on that, that could like change your body, feminize you, make you walk freely. The way I understand this, as I'm saying it, and some people, it works differently actually. It works differently. I've not been on my estrogen before I start dressing out. Still, there are some that are still on the estrogen, like they even pass, but they still have the anxiety of going out.
For now, I've really thinking about the full transition and all of that. I always have this principle not to do that. I enjoy me being me. I enjoy myself being like this. I enjoy being what I am and how I am right now. I don't think I would want to. I don't know in probably 10 or 15 years to come, but right now, like my present right now, I'm not thinking about that. To me, I don't feel Nigeria has anything to do with that. I believe it's just your your way of thinking, your perspective about life and how you see things. So I believe your choice is what matters. What you want is what matters. What makes you happy is what matters. It's not what makes the other person or whoever is around you happy. It's what makes you as a person happy.
I do know I'm trans. I knew I'm a woman since when I know my left from my right. So I can't say a particular age.
But your name is at that stage. I know that I'm trans as well. I was like, because I have pictures of me being a 5-year-old and acting boyish. I started playing football at the age of 4 or 5. Yeah, I play football. I'm into sports. I do football, basketball, snooker, tennis, swimming. I love sports.
Nice. So since 5.
Yeah, I started playing football. I started professionally at the age of 8. No. I'm 34 years old. I'll be 35 this month, 26th of this month.
Right from the very first time I could say my name, like the very first word I could say, like Papa, I knew because I never really fit into, like, I never really understood how to be a boy. I didn't even know. I just say that, oh, because I grew up amongst women. So I just felt like, okay, maybe it was going to take me time before I could be like my sisters. Maybe I was going through like time. Because every time I would look down, I'll be like, okay, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Why is the body not correlating? Why is the mind and the body? So I've always known.
Waking up in the morning, go by my day-to-day business activities, and still at the end of the day on sidewalk, having people to tell you, wear skirt, you're a woman, just like a woman. You have family members to want to eat up your throat all because, oh, you were not giving birth to this way, but you want to turn yourself to this and all that. So,
Fola Francis is she's an icon. She's an icon, forever an icon. Fola Francis is very sweet. Earlier my transition stage, me and there's this other person, Siwa. So we are very like very close then. Before everybody now like okay want to like stay on their own like kind of settle or something. So Fola Francis is very sweet. She's the kind of person like she would tell you how it is. the people have their own bias or stuff, but then Fola Francis will tell you how he says she's a mother. She will like pamper you, tell you how everything is, and there's this thing I want to say about her, but I don't know how I'm going to like interpret it. She's just she's just so amazing.
Fola is Fola is a beacon of light. Really Fola was very intentional about the like protection of like spaces for trans people, especially like on this side of the world. And she was very focused on like joy and preserving joy, because like she always said that like there's every time they have to talk about us, it's always like something like bad or sad or something. And so she was really focused, and I think I know that that's what those activities was about. It was really focused on like preserving trans joy, that like yeah, like irrespective of like all of like whatever is going on like in society, like there's still joy, right? There are people that find joy for themselves, and she was very intentional about that. She was very intentional about her freedom and living her life like on her terms. And I feel like a lot of people who interacted with her, or like met her, or like just engaged with her work, like would see and understand the type of person that she is. Like she was very clear, honest, like very straightforward about like the things she cared about and people that she cared about, people that she loved, and that was her focus. Like joy, love, joy, love, joy, love, joy, love. That was
Yeah, Paula Francis was a beautiful soul. I never got to meet her, but of course we are both trans in the same community, and we have been to a few events together, and even without actually talking to her, because she has this beautiful aura that intimidates people like me sometimes. But even without having to actually meet her or talk to her or vibe with her, you do know that she's the kind of person that advocates. Like she has a platform and she definitely uses it, especially for trans people and trans women. And for those activities, I mean, it's for trans them, so it's not a space for people like myself. But you do see the post, you get to hear the reviews, you get to see trans feminine people just being in community, having a great time with people like themselves, getting package, like care package that they need. I mean, I was jealous for a while, but yeah, you get to see them just vibing, just being in community, which is a thing that we need the most, especially as trans people in Nigeria. Just community, just found family, just love, having to let down your guard and exist in a space by and for people like yourself. And that's something she takes very seriously for trans feminine people. So yeah.
for me, community is really essential. It's like the common grounding force that I've had, and I've it's been very helpful for me generally navigating this country. And it's pretty close knit, but at the same time it's pretty open. Like it's like everybody sort of knows everybody, but like if you like, I don't know, like you know, but like do you know? Like yeah, it's like because it's like it's just regular people. Like we're all like a community. Like we go out, we see each other. Everybody knows everybody, but like there are like certain like how do I put it? There's like hmm. Okay. So while like it's pretty like open space where there's like everybody knows everybody, like we share spaces with like a lot of people. Um like I know who my friends are, I know my people are, and we do not like like I said earlier, like right, I don't there's certain spaces I do not go to. So like I will not be oh wait, oops, I will be found. Yeah, never mind. Scratch that. But like the community I have are people who like rock with me, and it's not a community of like oh you have to know each other like very well for you to like enjoy anything from the community. It's just like there are people who are closer to each other than others, but like it doesn't really affect like the flow or the functionality of. I just feel like I just said a lot of rubbish. I don't know what I just said.
My trans community, my relationship with my trans community is very, very on a very good side. It's well flowed and good.
Not like I'm not close to the community. Most of us, most of we trans people, we I won't say we give fake smile to ourselves or jealous of ourselves, because there's this I don't know how I'm going to like bring it out, but then I'm not really close to my community. I have friends, yeah, I have friends, but my friends is just maybe once in a while we see and talk. But being close to the community, do I have people I'm like close within the community and at the top, but not like me being like into the community, because I felt like where how I used to hear it, like feel like okay, they use people, they do this with us, which I don't have any issue with that. Because if at all, if you don't want them to use you, also work. So it's just that, I guess.
I'm sick support. Okay, so serious. What do I consider my superpower? Superpower how now? I love superpower. Okay, but I think my superpower would be just like, gosh, I actually don't have. Sorry. I apologize. I don't have a superpower. I'm a hot girl. That's all.
Tolerance and empathy. Yeah.
Why?
Because I know how to micromanage characters a lot. I tend not to get angry at any other person's opinion about me or how they feel about me. So I can tolerate any kind of character and micromanage any kind of character or being.
The ability to standing out. There's a picture that I used to have. It's in the picture, there are white eggs arranged according. Then there's a golden egg in the midst. Yeah, so even as a child, wherever I go to, even without opening my mouth to speak, people already know, okay, this person is different. And I always stand out. Like I can be in the million of trillion people and I would still be picked out. Like I would still stand out. So I feel like from time that has been my superpower. That is still my superpower. The ability to be in a million of people, amongst millions of people, sorry, and still stand out.
I think my superpower is tolerance because I'm a trans person. I'm an openly trans person a trans person that live in Nigeria. So I think it's tolerance because I faced a lot of things in life. I think my superpower is tolerance.
I want to say my resilience, but to be completely honest, I am not a very resilient person. I have just been forced to evolve into this person that I am, because it doesn't end. The transphobia does not end. Discrimination does not end. The stereotyping never ends, and you just have to become stronger out of your own will to survive, so that you get tougher or you get crushed. You don't have a choice.